Cue the confused comments because fish tofu is not made of tofu and my vegan fish tofu is not made of fish. It's a delicious ready-to-eat protein with a springy, bouncy texture that's perfect for topping your ramen or rice. You might know it already from Chinese or Korean cuisine, and it's really good in sushi too. I showed you a store-bought version last month, which is where this request came from, and you know I always love to give you what you want. But you know what I want? Coffee. And my daily greens drink. Those who know. Welcome to What I Ate Wednesdays, my friends and not yet friends. This is the show where I share all my delicious vegan meals of a day and a little behind the scenes of a cooking YouTuber, which starts pretty early. And this is one of the best parts. Don't you agree, Riles? He agrees. Then I dive right into making fish tofu, so I have it for the rest of the day and also so I can show you. But this recipe actually took several weeks to reverse engineer the store-bought version. My first step was looking at the main ingredients of the original product, and well, I have none of these ingredients in my pantry, do you? Never fear, tofu is here. It's basically a version of isolated soy protein, in a way. Anyways, I'm going to use 1 block of extra firm tofu. It usually comes labeled as 350 grams, but after you drain it and blot it as dry as you can, please weigh it again, because as you can see, this block is like well over 400 grams. So I'm going to make this portion 350 grams. How many ounces is that? I will put it on the screen. And remember, use the kind that comes like this, not the one that comes in water, because it usually is not as firm as this one. So try to find this type. If it's vacuum packed with a very, very dense, kind of grainy texture. I will break it down as smooth as possible. And to do that, I'm actually going to add some oil, which is in the original product. I'm using olive oil. They use soy oil. I don't think it matters. Then other than the flavorings, the next important ingredients are some kind of starches. These starches bind to the soy protein and somehow make it bouncy, which I have tried with all of the starches ever found in the grocery store, but haven't really gotten that texture. So we're going to combine a few things. So thinking about what we have access to at home, what can create a bouncy, springy texture? Maybe tapioca, perhaps potato starch? Maybe you're thinking vital wheat gluten? Well, definitely today's sponsor. Thank you to Helix Sleep for sponsoring today's video and for giving me the most delicious sleep I have ever experienced. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to your unique needs and then shipped straight to your door super conveniently, and if you're in the US, the shipping is free. To match you with your perfect mattress, they have created this sleep quiz. So you'll choose for 1 or 2 sleepers, your body types, your sleep preferences, and then they match you with the perfect mattress for you. For me, it happened to be the most popular, most award-winning mattress, the Helix Midnight Luxe. And like I said, you just order online, they deliver it straight to your door. It comes in a box. I could not believe that they were going to put a premium king-size mattress in a box, but they did it and they shipped it straight to my door. I carefully opened the box as to not disturb the cat too much, rolled that onto the bed frame, released it from the packaging, and watched it magically turn into a full-size, beautiful mattress, and proceeded to plop myself on it. And I'm telling you, the first thing I thought was, wow. It was so comfortable. My entire life, it would be a 50-50 chance if I wake up with a tingly arm because I sleep on my side like half the time. But since I've been sleeping on this mattress, my back feels great. I am not waking up with aches and pains, no tingly arms. It's amazing. And with all the sleep debt I have to catch up on, I think this has been the best thing for my health thus far. The bonus is the cats love it so much. And if they didn't, well, you have a 100-night sleep trial along with your 10-year warranty on every mattress. So if you are like nervous about not buying something in person, they give you that 3 months to try it so you can make sure that you love it. And hey, on the off chance that you don't love it, they'll pick it up and you'll get a full refund. I love my Helix and I think you will too. So please check out my link down in the description or go to helixsleep.com/MTK for up to $200 off your Helix Sleep mattress and 2 free pillows. While this bouncy, springy texture might give you delicious sleep, we will need some other ingredients for our bouncy, springy vegan fish tofu. Today, I'm going to use tapioca flour first, which will absorb some of this moisture in the tofu puree. Then we're going to need some flavor. I'm using just salt and MSG, which is a very quick shortcut and happens to be the one ingredient in the original product that we do have in the pantry and grocery store shelves. Mix it very well. Then finally, the vital wheat gluten. I'm adding this last because otherwise the flavors might not distribute through the tofu evenly. And if you're gluten-free, I am sorry, my friends, I have not found a gluten-free formula that works yet. However, in the original product, there is no gluten, so there must be a way. I just haven't found the right ingredient that you can also easily buy. But if you do want to make a bouncy, savory mochi-style ball instead, just replace the vital wheat gluten with more potato starch. It's not a dupe for fish tofu, but it was actually pretty good. After we make this dough ball, you can see it's not very springy yet. The gluten molecules need time to rest and create these springy rubber band-like connections between them. So you want to let this dough rest for 20 minutes. Cover it so it doesn't dry out, and actually, meanwhile, I am going to prepare some mix-ins. For a little taste of the sea, I'm making some nori confetti. I'm literally just using a regular nori sheet that you use to make sushi and cutting up a little corner of it to make this confetti. And the DSI brand of vegan fish tofu that I usually go for in the store has little colorful vegetable bitsies, so I'm going to try to make some little vegetable colorful bitsies too. That took like 5 minutes. I'll just uncover the dough, squish it a little bit, make some space, right, and add it in, and then knead it in. I just want to distribute all the colorful bitsy ingredients evenly. I'll cover it back up and, continue waiting for it to rest that full 20 minutes. Meanwhile, I have a bit of time on my hands, so I am going to start on my next tofu experiment, which is soy-free tofu, using something that is not soy, obviously, but will have the same macros as regular soy tofu, aka high protein, low carb, basically nothing else. And I'm soaking this one special ingredient. Can you guess what it is? If you can, please guess in the comments below. It has to be soaked overnight, so you will not see the rest today, but hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already so YouTube will know to show you when it is ready. Back to our not fish paste. After the full 20 minutes of waiting, it is a lot springier now. So I'm gonna go ahead and divide this up into, 3, 4, with about 100 grams, I'm going to make fish balls. And then with another 100 grams, I'm going to make some fish cake patties. And with the rest, I'm going to just shape it into a rectangle log thing and wrap it up tightly with parchment paper. And then to make sure it's secure and keeps the shape, I'm going to wrap it with foil as well. I haven't actually made a log this big before, so we will see how long it takes to steam. Speaking of steaming, you can use like a little steamer set like this. I love this thing. Or you can use like a steaming rack in a big pot. I am going to use my automatic steamer with this big surface area to save time. Whatever you use, make sure you're adding enough water. If you're using the pot system where you can't add that much water, just make sure to check frequently so you can add water when the time comes. With my automatic steamer, I'll just switch the timer to 30 minutes and just press start. It will start boiling the water, and when it starts to steam, that's when the timer will start counting down. So you want to wait until your water is fully boiled and then start counting down, okay? Then you should be able to reveal the perfect fish tofu. You see those beautiful fish tofu bowls, perfectly puffed up and cooked through, as well as the little fish cakes. We will just transfer them to a container or plate, whatever, doesn't matter. And you can see the texture is nice and springy, and the balls are, well, bouncy. Carefully unwrap your little foil packet and parchment paper, and you can see this log is not exactly cooked all the way through. So I'm going to just put it back in the steamer unwrapped for about 10 more minutes, and that should be good, I think. I shall put these fish patties in a container so they don't dry out. And perfect timing, I haven't had breakfast yet and it is time for a taste test. It's perfect. It really, really, really tastes like the store-bought version, but a little less oily because it hasn't been fried yet, which makes this very nice for a vegan fishball noodle stir-fry dish that I have in mind. What do you think? Noodles for breakfast? This is quite spicy, so I could guess how some people wouldn't be up for this for breakfast, but it's totally up my alley. Later, I have the fish cake patties and log ready and chilled. But the ones I buy are usually fried, so I'm gonna do that now. Make sure to get everything ready when you do this. And you can heat up some oil to between 325 to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure you have your thermometer and also your heat-safe tongs. When your oil is hot, go ahead and place your patties in. Also, don't make the mistake that I am making now. We have a sticky situation on our hands, and sticky plus hot oil is a big no. However, we still succeed in getting our fish cakes nice and golden. Crisis averted. But as I move on to this log, you can see what I did wrong. There is a dry side and a wet side that was sitting in the container. Make sure you put the dry side on the bottom and it won't stick. Then after like a minute, you can go ahead and turn it over to cook the other side evenly. Finally, it is a nice light golden color on the outside, and we have our fried vegan fish tofu. Look how beautiful they are. I am going to use this one for lunch, sliced up thinly, with something a bit more refreshing and a little more taste from the sea. In the past, I would probably just turn this into sushi, but today it's just going to be fresh salady nori wraps. And at this point, I am kicking myself for cutting the nori so narrowly. I should have cut it the other way or rolled it up the other way. But anyways, it doesn't matter because in the end, what we'd have is some delicious fresh nori wraps, even though it was a little bit hard to wrap. They were so good. As for the rest of the fried vegan fish tofu, I put it in a container, and then you can save these for several days in the fridge, if you can stop yourself from eating them all, which I clearly cannot. So for dinner, I'm using them in my take on Korean stir-fried fish cakes. You can see the outside isn't crispy anymore, but the deep-fried layer has developed its own tasty flavor, and also it will grab onto the sauce better. You'll see later. This sesame kind of sweet stir fry goes perfectly on steamed rice. Or for me, and if you want to keep it less carby as well, use cauliflower rice. I had some left over and all I did was heat it up. Add some sesame seeds if you wanted to, and it will be such a good dinner. I mean, I love it. I wish you could have this with me, it's so good. But alas, you shall have to make it yourself. Recipe links in the description as usual. Let me know what you would make with your homemade vegan fish tofu in the comments below. And of course, feel free to leave your requests as well. I am so glad you requested this recipe too because, well, now I have it up my sleeve and can have vegan fish tofu whenever I want forevermore. And so can you. Please give this video a like if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't already. But either way, thank you so much for watching, my friends. And thanks again to Helix Sleep. Please check out my link in the description if you're looking for a new bed, or even if you wanted to just figure out what your perfect mattress is. Do that little sleep quiz. Also, a big thank you to my channel members for your monthly support. You help fund all the testing that goes on behind the scenes, and you help make these recipes free for everyone to enjoy. I hope you give this vegan fish recipe a try, have fun, and share it with your friends. Bye for now!